Shalom, welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Delmar, together with my co-host, Mark Lawrence, of Statewide News Service, jbiztechphilly.com. As you can see here, columnist for the Jewish Press.
Right, Rabbi, I'm having fun with all three assignments, and my column in the Jewish Press is called Albany Beat, and we talk about how government relates to the Jewish community, or doesn't, as the case may be. But someone who really does relate to the Jewish community is our guest today, Sheriff Michael Zurlo, the Sheriff of Saratoga County. Welcome to the Jewish View.
Thanks for having me.
And we have Deputy Petrie with us with Stuka.
We have a special guest star with us over here.
Absolutely.
Stuka, come on up here, Stuka.
Come on, Stuka.
Stuka, come on
Don't
up.
sit on
up,
my
up.
lap over
Come on up, Stuka. Let everyone see you. Come on. Come on up.
This
is our
Don't be
first.
shy, because maybe
All right,
she's shy
so
from the TV.
That's
There,
it.
Stuka.
Hello, Stuka.
Look at that star.
That's right. And we have a badge. Stuka
Yeah,
has
a
a badge.
badge.
And this is the first time we've had a canine on the Jewish View. Hello, Stuka. Welcome to the Jewish View.
Stuka
There
is
you
part
go.
of our department
Okay.
also, one of our 8 canines.
Oh, 8 canines?
Yeah.
Really?
Why do you
Okay.
need 8 canines in Saratoga County? I mean, what would be a case where it's saying, hey, get the dogs out?
We have basically a canine in each shift, missing child, missing person. We use them for drug interdiction. We have 2 bomb dogs, so way society is nowadays, we get a lot of requests for our bomb dogs to check venues prior to events and stuff.
It's a
to
shame
sweep it.
over here. You know, you never had that years ago.
Never did, but it's changing, the society, way society is now. So we've trained 2 of the 8 dogs for bomb detection, and we have these dogs here for, they can track missing children, and basically, a wide variety of...
So it's not bloodhounds that track down
Correct.
missing people?
Let me say
anymore?
we, it's like, who's the we, the Saratoga County, or do you send it out to some dog trainers?
Well, go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead.
We train our own dogs, however, sometimes the state will, we can get a grant for a bomb dog, where it's sent to the state police, where they specialize in explosives detection. As far as the tracking, patrol, and narcotics work, I'm one of our trainers. We have a few trainers that were in the department. And we do that in-house, not just for our own department, but we do it for other agencies also.
It's interesting, the dog seems very nice. I'm not such a dog fan, but it's a nice dog here. But I guess maybe it's not really nice to compare, but like the Germans, the Nazis, use as attack dogs. I mean, if there would be any fight, is they trained to attack? I mean, if someone would go after you, I mean, God forbid. I mean, I'm not saying, but you got all these nuts and like you say, bomb scares. There's so many,
Of course he would go.
a policeman, it's a scary job nowadays. Many policemen get hurt. So would this dog be prepared? I mean, just, you say it sniffs things out, but would it protect you?
Yes, it's, what they're trained for is what we call tracking, patrol, and then a specialty, which would be either narcotics or explosives. Tracking is self-explanatory,
Yeah.
You're tracking scent. And patrol is what we call the aspect of protection. The dog is pretty much instinct to protect me, as well as other citizens. If something was, somebody was doing something to another citizen, the dog is trained to know upon command what to do.
Upon your command?
Upon my command.
And if
Right,
there
and
be-
the dog goes home with you at night?
Live with me forever.
Really? How do you
Right,
like that?
So even when you retire, this dog goes with you? Right,
Really?
this is
It
your
does. like that.
And we'll,
compliments of the Saratoga County
well, we
Sheriff's.
take care of the medical and feed the dogs, and, yep.
They say that, I see, on Facebook, the armed forces, because they have dogs in the army, and when they go home or something that, if they're coming from, who knows, Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever these guys get shipped off to the far ends of the world, so the dogs come home with them, or sometimes they don't. I don't know, I saw some stories like that.
Different branches do different things. A lot of times the dogs are in a kennel or in another facility, and it only comes out to work. However, different branches may allow the canine to come home with the handler. It all depends on the branch.
Really?
So, you do so much at the Saratoga County Sheriff's Office. I went on your website. It's a great website.
Thank you.
And you really I mean, I don't know how you sleep at night with tossing all these different activities around. You know, how can I improve this? How can I improve that? But one thing I wanted to ask you about is your jail, because that's the first thing that I think of that the sheriff has responsibility over. How many beds do you have in your jail? And
I can hold up to 255 double bunking, single beds. I'm at 202. I think as of today, I had 186 inmates inside the facility.
so do you contract out where you get people, some other counties sending you?
I do
inmates?
not.
No.
I do not. Our county's busy. Last year, we were at our limit, unfortunately, with the inmates
Yeah.
during the summer season. So I have enough I can do just with the people I have in our county, so I do not
And
contract out.
what's your staff, professional and civilian?
I have 245 employees, have 112 on our road patrol, then our jail. I oversee the civil division, the records division, and our communications division. I have the 911 center.
So
in my
how
building.
many civilian employees?
Probably 20,
20?
yeah.
You know, I would think that you talk about the summer, do you have to hire extras? Because I know Saratoga, well, why? Saratoga booms in the summertime, you know, with the SPAC and you know, I'm just saying there would be more. You have kids maybe, you know, people in the summer, they drink more, they get rowdy.
We don't. It's pretty consistent every year. We're pretty self-sufficient in our department, so we take care of the excess flow that, you know, goes into the city. Since I've been sheriff the last 3 years, we've fostered great relationships with the police departments inside the county, including Saratoga Springs. So we work hand in hand with them throughout the summer inside the city, you know, with the excess amount of people it's an extra 1 million people during the summer that come in.
That's a lot. That's
It
like
is a
with
lot,
figures,
yeah.
yeah.
So we've got a plan in place. We work closely with them and the other police departments. So, you know, we're lucky to have this relationship with them, and so far it's worked the last 2 or 3
Now, I
years.
wanted to ask you, I don't know if you can see on the TV screen that you're wearing a black ribbon over your badge.
Yeah.
You got me into trouble last time you brought that up.
A couple of weeks ago, Trooper Tim Pratt was struck by a vehicle up on Ballard Road in our county. Tim was a member of the New York State Police, a 30-year member. A lot of we all worked close with him, you know, being a member.
knew him
I
personally?
did know him personally. I've been doing this for close to 37 years, and we got to be friends, but it's out of respect for, you know, Trooper Pratt and the members of the New York State Police. So we'll wear this for 30 days, and after
Yeah.
30 days, they'll come off our badges.
Okay, so now I'm going to bring up something that I mean, the sheriff from Warren County, Bud York, he said that he trained Trooper Pratt.
He did.
And I was like, well, when you step down from a truck that's in the middle of a small, relatively narrow road, you kind of look both ways, and it's a dark road, relatively speaking. I mean, wouldn't you see headlights coming? And I know this is why it's called an accident, but wasn't it really carelessness on his
you know,
part?
I'm
I mean,
not-
I know you hate to say something negative about one of your own, but I'm just, you know, I cringe when I...
Yeah, I'm not privy to the investigation that took
Yeah,
place
okay.
up there, and the state police handled that. We were there to assist, you know, at various aspects of the investigation with closing some roads. So, you know, I'm not going to comment on what
Right.
took place up there
But I
because I
just-
don't have the information.
Just from my point of view, from what, you know, Sheriff York had told me about what went on and all that, I mean, I just think that if you're going to be helping someone and you come out of the trooper barracks and you know, you don't go alone, you put up, you know, your safety is first. And, you know, you put up flares, you put up something to tell, I mean, there's some regular training, that instinct of training that goes into this. And for him to just be talking, you know, climbing up on the truck, talking to this truck driver, and then saying, you know, pull into the trooper barracks parking lot, and then stepping down and stepping into the path of a car, I mean, I just don't see, you know, I just see it as carelessness on the trooper's part. And
I
it's
look at it
unfortunate,
as an
but-
accident, and like
Yeah.
I said, the state police are doing their reconstruction, interviewing their witnesses, so at some point, they'll probably have a determination of exactly
Yeah.
what took place. So,
I know.
And again, I'm not privy to what they're doing up there. We're there to be supportive of them.
Exactly. I know.
And
I know.
that's,
I know.
that's the the road I took that
And
day.
exactly, and,
Yep.
you know, I'm being very gentle with my comments here, I'm not like, but I just rolled my eyes because he was such a good guy, because everyone talked about him with such high, you know, high
Accolades.
praise, you know, so just tell your sheriff deputies and all of the people in your department to be extra careful and to be concerned about their own safety, because we don't want to lose more law enforcement officers this way, you know, it's just
We do,
terrible.
and thank you, and we train on a daily basis. That's one of the things when I took over 3 years ago is training, training, training. You know, watch your back, know your surroundings. You're out there, you know, our patrols are out there 24/7, so training is a big part of what we do in our department.
Let me go on a different note. You know, Mark and I have so many DAs, I think every DA and sheriff around this whole capital district, and usually with one, I guess I should ask you, is just, but they're all saying is the heroin problem. And maybe that goes back to the dog issue over here. The dog can, I don't know, I mean, I feel so bad, because again, I'm a rabbi, I'm certainly not a policeman. But, you know, and I counsel people.
You know, the dog's a female, and it's a female hero, is a heroine, but I think you're saying it regarding drugs, so.
Yeah, not the same thing, totally not the same thing. But, you know, I counsel, these are tragedy, these are young people, and, you know, I just can't stand drugs altogether because of this. You know, people legalize this, legalize that, and I just totally against that. But, you know, I mean, is there anything to be done? I mean, maybe dog sniffing out? I mean, you can't just pick up every heroin user I know.
No, the way, I mean, I have a narcotics unit that are constantly busy with this. It's a big problem. I know, we know it is, and I look at it as maybe we start with education in our schools, and I have a deputy that's in the schools throughout the county. We do active shooter training. We try to educate the kids. Maybe we start at 5th grade, 4th grade, and just start educating kids as to the use of opiates and you know, various drugs. Maybe that'll help. It's not helping on the top end here. I mean, unfortunately, we have young adults that, you know, die of heroin overdoses in our county. All my deputies are equipped with Narcan. I was recognizing each deputy as they made a reversal on a heroin overdose. But now it's too much. It's unfortunate, it's too much. I mean, our guys are out there, they pull up, so we've done quite a few reversals using Narcan, and along with our EMS partners in the county too. So, but it's a big problem. Hopefully we can get ahead of it, but I think the way I look at it is maybe we start in our schools and educate the kids as they come up through, and hopefully they'll have a better understanding
Well,
of what
it's the way we limited and reduced the impacts of HIV, is that we went into the schools and people went in and started to educate the kids at an earlier age to have safe sex. So,
On the other hand, it's coming from somewhere. I mean, it's not just,
Yeah, it's
you
coming
know,
from.
you say 2 kids in high school, you know, you can educate them, but it's just not coming out of the walls.
No, it's coming
there
from
must be
other
a source.
counties, it's coming from downstate, we track it, and, you know, each time we make an
Comes
arrest.
from out of the
we-
country.
It does, and
Yeah.
each time we make an arrest, we try to track where it's coming from. People cooperate, some people don't cooperate, so it's basically an uphill battle for us, but we're gonna do the best we can, and, you know, our press releases are on our social media pages, and but just about every day or every other day, you'll see a release where we make an arrest on somebody dealing heroin.
yeah, I'm not applying for this, but who writes your news releases?
Well, actually, my lieutenants take care of all that.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they do, and the information's fed on a major case to them, and they have access to all the.
So you don't have a public information officer? No,
you're
and I'm not
talking to
no, you're talking, like Craig Apple is the same
Yeah,
way,
you know, I feel that I'm the sheriff, so I'll be out there, we'll talking, but if I'm not available, my lieutenants and my sergeants can, you know,
Can do that?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they are
So-
well-versed.
So when you look at what happened in Albany County recently with the sergeant, I guess, being arrested and charged with, smuggling in contraband for, I mean, did you do anything in Saratoga County to make sure that's not happening? Did you do a lockdown? Did you sweep the place? Did you do something?
We did, about 2 months ago, came up with the idea of having a canine assigned to the correctional facility. Deputy Petrie was a part of training the lab that we have,
What are they looking for?
looking for any type of any type of drug coming into the facility.
Or anything that shouldn't be there.
Well, a
whether
dog
it's
can't
like
figure it's a knife. I mean, what's a
No, I
dog
mean,
supposed to figure out if there's
but
a
we
knife
do our
or-
pat-down searches as people come in, but the dog's been successful. The dog sits in our visitation area, so as people, we were seeing a problem with visitors bringing contraband into the facility. So the dog will sit in the visitation area. If there's something there, he'll hit on it and we'll take the appropriate action. We get, he's also in the facility, so he goes cell to cell and checks to see if there's any type of tobacco or contraband coming into the facility, and he's hit on a few already. So once we, find out and we investigate by interviewing that inmate, we're able to determine where it's coming from.
Did you do one of these, like a coach would do, like, don't do what's happened in Albany County? I mean, did you just kind of do a, reinforcement type of speech, upbeat speech?
I have, and I think all my correction officers see what, took place in Albany County, and I applaud Sheriff Apple for the action he took on it. At this point, I trust my employees that work in there, and, if there's any type of activity that comes to my desk, then we'll look into it. But at this point, no big speech to anybody. I have 245 employees. I got a great department. Every aspect of my department, my men and women work real hard there. So I trust my people down there. But if something's brought to my attention, and over the course of the last 3 years, I've had some tough decisions to make, and I'm up front with them. We'll make them right away, and we'll move on.
Did you have disciplinary actions with your employees?
I have I've terminated some employees over the last 3 years. So if something, is brought to my attention and somebody does something wrong, they're held to a higher standard.
They have to be.
Absolutely, while they're working and while they're not working. So they understand that, and
Sort of makes you feel that when you're a deputy that you're on duty 24/7.
correct.
Because the image of the department it carries you through even when you're not on the clock.
And I expect them to act in that manner, while they're off duty also. They still carry the badge of the sheriff's department, whether they're working or not working.
And that's why it's so difficult to be, and you're never paid enough.
No,
It's so difficult.
like I said, I'm fine with it, and I've got a great department. I really do. They work hard. We're a really busy county. We have 800 square miles. I've got 225,000 people, so we're basically, our road patrol is on the go constantly. And I started social media. I wanted the citizens of the county to see what was going on in the county. So we started a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and as you talked about, Mark, my website, which we're always adding to. And
And do you tweet?
yes.
Do you tweet?
Do I tweet?
Do you tweet? Not at 3 in the morning, but do you tweet?
I do. Once in a while, I tweet, but I have people that work for me if we need to get something out. Especially,
That tweet for you?
yeah, I do.
Well,
I have my communications people. If there's something major going on in the county, they have access to the Twitter account where we can get the message out for a road closure, a big fire or
Yeah,
something, so the people.
I just wanted to know
Yeah.
if you personally.
I just, it's interesting, Mark, like
They
I
get
say,
in
we have
trouble
so
if I-
many people around, a lot of government officials, even library, which of course, we always thank the Albany Public Library for broadcasting from their studio, but it's just interesting to me, because I'm getting educated too. I mean, I'm just sitting here, again, I'm a rabbi, I'm not a police officer, I'm not a librarian. And just the services of the government, I think that needs more publicity. People just don't understand
Right.
what police do, what the assets of a library has, what does it mean to a budget, and just people aren't involved, and just it's for their own detriment, not just to be a good citizen, but, just to find out, listen, you're part of the city, you're part of the county, you're part of the country, and, I think there would be more participation if they feel that, it is open, find out what
Right,
what
absolutely.
facilities are open
The
for
residents
them.
elected me, so I want the residents to know what's going on with our department. So we post a lot of stuff on social media, our website, and we have areas where if people want to send in a complaint anonymously, they can do it, and it's worked real well, so.
So and you're a lifelong Saratoga County resident? You grew up in Mechanicville?
Mechanicville, I started with the police department there in '74.
And you live in Stillwater now?
I live in Half Moon now.
Half Moon.
I moved from Stillwater to Half Moon. So
I
I've
missed
been
that.
Yeah, you're along the
I
way
didn't get
there.
that memo.
Yeah, and I came to the department in 1979, worked my way up to the ranks. I retired in 2010. And then I became town justice in the town of Stillwater for a year and a half.
Oh,
Prior to
wow.
becoming sheriff, and the previous sheriff decided he was gonna retire. I ran, and here we are.
And did you have a primary?
I did, yep, won the
And-
primary and then won the general election.
Well, the general was the no sweat, right?
I did pretty well. in
You
the
did pretty
general.
well.
Yeah, so.
So is this the dream job? Is
Yeah,
this
oh,
all that you-
absolutely the
yeah?
dream job. You know, as a
Okay.
kid, when we start young as a police officer, you say, well, you have to set goals, you know, you just don't, I don't want to be, didn't want to just be a deputy, and so I worked my way up. I said, geez, I would love to be sheriff someday, you
So
know.
what made, so how old are you now?
I'm 62.
62. You're still young. You could be there
Absolutely.
another 10, 15 years if
Absolutely.
you want to.
Yeah,
So
I really enjoy the job. Like I said, and I keep saying this, I enjoy working with the people I have there. And I'm there for the residents of the county, and we're gonna keep improving and make it the safest county around.
What is the crime
Isn't
rate
it
in
already?
Saratoga
Yeah,
County?
our
Isn't it
crime rate-
already?
It is. Our crime rate's way down.
So you see?
It's
Yeah.
rural, I mean, with the biggest city is Saratoga,
Correct.
and so you don't have that much
No, we.
violent crime probably.
No,
It's not like an inner city, I'm just thinking like a big city, like, I mean, Albany's not big compared to New York, but you know, you have a little more crime. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't even know statistics.
I have Clifton Park Half Moon, that's an up-and-coming area. In the southern part of the county, I have the town of Wilton that seems to be growing, you know, on a daily basis. There's more restaurants going up, they're thinking about building. Then we get up towards Corinth, and I have the towns in the northern part. I have the Sacandaga.
Well, you also have Global Foundries.
I have Global Foundries in the town of Malta.
You know,
and
that's booming. Malta's
it
booming.
really is. So, I mean, the whole county is kind of exploding at the seams, and
How's Galway doing?
Galway's,
I know.
Galway's a great town out the
Just
western
one of
part.
my congregants lives in Galway, it's a lot of acres out there, so we go out there a little bit. You know, it's
It
nice to
is.
be in
It's
the
a great-
rural area.
Galway, Charlton, the western part of the county, yeah,
Yeah, it
absolutely.
So we'll tell Dr. Auerbach that we asked the
mentioned
sheriff to
over
keep
the
an eye on,
Galway.
what is it, Old Mill Road or something?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
Okay.
That's where he lives over there, so.
Yeah,
You know, I had a story that I'm famous for telling on the show, that there was Clinton County, there was a gentleman who was arrested, a Jewish guy, arrested border crossing issue or whatever, and he wasn't going to eat any of the food in the jail because it wasn't kosher. Do you have any, and so one of the sheriffs, they called up this Rabbi Gluck and said, I have, this inmate won't eat, you know, I have this cheese sandwich I'm holding to the phone, can you bless it and make it kosher? And he says, no, it doesn't work that way. Get it, go to Stewart's, get him an apple, a banana, and a pear, and feed it to him, he'll be happy, and that'll be enough. Do you have issues like that? Do you have Jewish inmates that
yeah,
you...
we do. We accommodate their wishes. I don't have to go to Stewart's to get the food, so we do have the food. We, as the inmate comes in, we go through a series of questions, and one of them is, you know, food, dietary, or whatever, and then we accommodate the inmate.
Willingly and happily.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay, you're
yeah.
very customer oriented.
Yeah, we are. We are. I got a great staff, and like I said, that works in the kitchen in the jail.
So he raised his eyebrows. So but Rabbi Simon is a chaplain, right?
Yeah, in the state.
In the state prison.
State
He goes
prison,
up to
so
what,
there's a
grade
lot
now,
of
or-
different, that's what Mark, I've been telling him, a lot of food issues, because of course, the Jewish people have been having kosher for years, but now there's a lot of Muslims and they eat halal, and then there's Hindus that don't eat cow, they want to be vegetarian. So it's given the state a lot of headaches and a lot of money too, it costs more money, so they're just making one universal alternative diet, which is parv, meaning it's soy hot dogs, and the inmates,
Yeah.
Neither meat nor dairy. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have, yeah,
and
absolutely.
the inmates don't like it. It was, listen, you know, this isn't
Well,
a restaurant around here.
Well,
you
there
know,
was
I
a
mean, what am I
ruling
supposed
that
to tell
said
them?
that whether you were born Jewish or identify being Jewish, if you go into prison and all of a sudden you have an epiphany that all of a sudden you want kosher food, that you feel you identify as being Jewish and you want kosher food, there doesn't have to be any other explanation. You get kosher food.
And we do, we
You
accommodate.
know,
yeah.
so even if you're not Jewish, but people know that, you know, the kosher food is better food than what you get on the
Not anymore,
line.
no, that's
But
what's-
that's why they were
Yeah, no, we have
beefing
no,
up the
no problems
The
there.
upset beefing up. and so on.
We've had no complaints, and,
Yeah.
you know, our grievance rate in our facility among inmates is probably one of the lowest in the state, so we I applaud what we do down,
Yeah.
take credit for that. Not me taking credit, but the people, the staff that works for me, so.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Do you-
I mean, people are down and out, they're going to jail,
Do you
obviously
personally-
they're not happy about it.
Go around the jail?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
personally go
yeah.
and like make it a habit to?
I go down and visit, try to do each shift and see how everybody's doing, and I'm a hands-on type sheriff.
Do you go to the inmates and say how
I see the inmates. We have inmates that, are trustee inmates. I speak to them, see how things are going, and, no complaints. If I get a letter or an inmate sends a letter up, I'll look right into it and make sure, we're doing the right thing down there.
Love, it's great to be in a small town, a small
It
county.
is. I mean,
You get that personal touch between.
I'm out, I go to, where I'm out to scenes and stuff, I'll show up at a scene and, just, I'll let them do it, but if they need some type of other resource, I'm there to
Right.
But
provide
like
the
you were
help.
saying, Saratoga is such a big county. Do you have satellite offices?
I do.
Because
I've
just to,
got-
like you say, go over there, it could be a half-hour ride sometimes.
I do, I have Half Moon, Clifton Park, Corinth, Northumberland, Town of Wilton. We just opened up in the Wilton Mall, we have a satellite there. And our main office in Boston Spa is, we have deputies that work out of that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I'm
which is the
thinking.
county seat.
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
Boston Spa, yeah.
Yeah, so we're 112 members strong, and the Board of Supervisors just approved 5 more deputies for next year, so,
Oh, very good.
yeah. So we're
'Cause you're
growing.
growing. Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's just
county's
county's
growing, we need to
growing.
grow. I mean, it's just,
There's other thing, Global Foundries over here. I mean, they would call you up. I mean, there's such potential, like you say, with bombs or.
there are, between us
could-
and the state police, we both work hand in hand, and we do go over and handle whatever their need is.
I wanted to talk to you about a couple of the programs that you
Mm-hmm.
run there. For example, the Explorer program. I mean, what is that about?
It's high school kids between the ages of 16, well, not high, 16 and 19. It's something I was thinking about the last couple of years. You get so many kids that call me, or I'll get an email. How can I come up and ride around or do something?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a career in law enforcement. So I know Sheriff Apple has an Explorer post in Albany County. So, kind of a couple times I went and saw how that was working. I said, this is something we ought to try. So we work with the Boy Scouts of America out of Albany, and we probably got 15 young adults and young females that are in it, and we show them every aspect of law enforcement. We'll usually go to a firehouse in Clifton Park where they meet. I have 2 instructors that are both deputies. I get volunteers from the department that go down and help, and we'll do pullover cars. The canines have gone down and spoken to them, and have a navigation.
Wait, the canines?
The canine handlers with the
No,
dogs.
handlers, not the canines
No,
didn't
the
talk to
canine.
them.
Well, sometimes they do if they're acting up, but,
I
yeah.
usually wanted to see if I was listening.
Yeah, you were. I have a navigation patrol and I have a special operations team, so every aspect of the department, they get to see how that works, and
You talk about children or maybe young adults interested in the police work. You still see that enthusiasm. I just remember something on Facebook that, the policemen, I think, were getting hurt in record numbers this past year. So maybe New York City. So they were just people saying, well, people just don't want to be policemen. Even the policemen saying, this is too dangerous. I'm getting out of here. I mean, you see that. I mean, again, Saratoga County is a difference.
It is.
Yeah, but
totally
It's not New York
yeah,
City.
No, it is, but no, like I said, we get kids that always, this is a career they want to take. We hold civil service tests. Before, you'd only probably get like 40 people. Now you get 200-300 people looking for the job. So
Really?
there is a outpouring of, what kids want to do in life, and which is
good
good.
to be
This-
young. It's
It
good
really
to be
is,
young.
and this is why I want to do this Explorer post, so they get an idea of how we operate and what law enforcement is all about.
Deputy Petrie, how old are you?
48.
48. And how long have you been in?
I came to Saratoga County Sheriff's Office 19 years ago.
19?
Yes.
Wow.
And I have 24 into law enforcement.
But you wanted to get into canine. How long you been in the canine unit?
16 years.
And you wanted, that's a volunteer kind of thing, or they say, hey, we need a canine guy, you're the guy?
No, we usually,
You went willingly, or you were directed to?
what we do is if we are going to put on a new dog, we, put a memo out that anybody interested, come on over, and we usually house the dog in the animal shelter, and we ask them to come over and see what the program is about. And if they would like to do it, and then usually we pick one that we think would be the best. We pretty much fit the dog to a handler, and, you know, that's how we choose them, but.
Okay. That's why I wanted to, you know, find out your experience, because, you know, I guess you're a youngster compared to all of us.
Oh, we're still youngsters.
Yeah, that's it. I say I'm 29, so, yeah, there you go. But, you know, so that's exclusively your job now. It's not like you get to,
No, I have a variety of things I do. I'm in our response team. I do the canine stuff. I'm an instructor, EVOC, which is teaching people how to drive a emergency vehicle, firearms instructor. So I have a lot of things.
oh, that's very good.
And the,
Another minute.
yeah, okay.
Let's sum it up over here.
I
One
just
more
want to sum
question.
it up about the Domestic Violence and Rape Crisis Service. So can you quickly tell us if
Yeah,
there's a big problem in Saratoga County with that?
With a
or-
lot of domestic violence, our guys are always, you know, majority of the calls, unfortunately, on a 4 to 12 or midnight shift. We work hand in hand with Wellspring that handles domestic violence
I
and
see.
rape. We also work hand in hand with Center for the Family, where abuse, kids, sexual abuse or physical abuse, we can talk to in a
And that's
private
the
setting.
majority of the night shift, you say?
Pretty much, you know, people
Really?
go home
Yeah.
at night and,
Get a
I
little
think it's
wild
more-
over here.
yeah.
Okay, well.
All right, listen, we want to say.
Well, can we get-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you got to say goodbye to the dogs that come over here. Say
Stuka,
goodbye.
Come on, Stuka, come up.
There you
Say
go.
There you
goodbye,
go,
Stuka.
show your badge, I like that badge on that dog, that's cute over here. Well, Sheriff, thanks for, yeah, and the
Absolutely.
deputy, thanks for protecting all the citizens, it's, you know, you have to put something in Jewish, it is a Jewish law that there should be protection, I mean, that's a normal society, there has to be policemen in the, so you're doing a great job,
Thank
and
you.
keep up
Yes.
the good work.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
having us
You're
today, we
welcome.
appreciate it.